One of the most inspiring stories anywhere is the story of France. Here's a country in the early 70s that is burning oil for electricity. Doesn't have coal reserves, doesn't want to be dependent on gas coming from Northern Europe and Russia. But when the oil shocks happened and the prices went up dramatically, the French realized they needed to get serious about a different source of energy.
They said this is serious and it has to do with national security. So they focused on making sure that they had the best nuclear engineers and a standard design for the reactors and just roll it out.
What's so significant about what the French did is that they did it so quickly. They scaled up almost exactly at the pace that we need to scale up nuclear power globally.
They now have 80% of their electricity coming from nuclear. Their trains are electric powered. They have clean air. They have the cheapest energy in Europe. They're selling it to everybody else. And they are greener than green Denmark, greener than green Germany.
I didn't know what French per capita carbon dioxide emissions were, which is actually the most important question to ask. The answer is they're about 5 tons per person per year. Germany's about 10 tons per year. So Germany has much, much higher per person emissions of carbon dioxide than neighboring France, because France is nuclear and Germany is trying to get out of nuclear. So, the Germans have put millions of solar panels on their roofs, and that contributes less to the power production than a single big power station.
When we look at nuclear, we have to understand that we're making a long-term investment. Now, it's a big upfront capital cost, but these are plants that are going to last 60, 80, maybe even 100 years. And much of the other infrastructure that's being built will last far longer than that. And when you really look at it that way, there's just really no question. It's a much more economical alternative to very expensive solar panels or very expensive wind turbines that require backup power.
The current generation of reactors we're building now are 3rd generation of reactors. The 4th generation reactors, like the integral fast reactors, can use the waste from the first 3 generations as fuel. They're good for desalinating water, they're good for generating hydrogen. And then you have even more radical things like Bill Gates has put money and time into a traveling wave reactor that you basically stick in the ground and it goes through its body of fuel over a period of 60 years. You don't need to refuel it. There's a thorium reactor the same group is working on. Other 4th generation coming along with the small modular reactors. They look exactly like the kind of local power source that environmentalists have increasingly been saying we should have. So there's a renaissance in reactor design that those are just the first glimpses of.
For some people who perhaps accept most of these arguments in favor of nuclear power, the ultimate argument is, but knowledge of this technology is also the kind of knowledge you can use to make nuclear weapons. And that's quite true. It is.